Today we are making some vegan ground beef 3 ways. We're going to be using TVP, aka textured vegetable protein, tempeh, and lentils and mushrooms. And these are pretty cheap and easy to put together, and you can use them just about anywhere you would use ground beef. You can also make some in bulk so you can meal prep too. And these are based after my tofu ground beef video I did a while back. That's also pretty easy and cheap, but I wanted to see about making something even easier, and these 3 options definitely come together in a snap. First up is TVP, and this stuff is fantastic. I always have a couple bags in the pantry. I believe it's called soya mince in other parts of the world, but TVP is fairly ubiquitous. We're going to start off by hydrating a cup of it in a cup of vegan beef broth or veggie broth. It'll actually soak the broth up pretty quickly, so it should look something like this after only 5 to 10 minutes. And while it rehydrates, we can throw together the marinade that we're going to cook it down in. We're going to start off with 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, followed by a tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of miso paste, a teaspoon of vegan what's this here sauce, and then also a teaspoon of nutritional yeast and a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Optional, 1 teaspoon of gravy master or kitchen bouquet for color. And then lastly, we're going to do 1 cup of vegan beef broth or veggie broth. Whisk that up, and now we just need to dice up a shallot and mince 4 cloves of garlic, or for something even easier, you can also just use a teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder. Whatever floats your boat, but I prefer the fresh stuff in this recipe. Next, over medium heat, we're going to add in the shallots and cook them down until translucent and slightly browned, and then we're going to throw in the garlic and cook that for 1 minute, making sure we don't burn it. After that, we're going to add in our rehydrated TVP and stir that around. And then lastly, we're going to add in the marinade and combine everything. After that, it's just a matter of reducing the liquid down to our desired consistency. Always season a taste, and I did leave this slightly neutral tasting so you can add in any other seasonings like cumin and whatnot for some tacos, or Italian seasoning for some pasta. You get the idea. And this should get about a pound of vegan ground beef, but that's basically it for the TVP. I told you it was quick and easy. Now for the tempeh, which if you're not familiar is a fermented soy product. Some people, including myself, find it a little bitter, so I like to break it into pieces and then boil it for 10 minutes. This seems to get rid of most of that bitter flavor. Remove it from the water and let it cool for a few minutes, and then I like to crumble mine with a potato masher. You can do it with your hands, but you're going to have to wait for it to cool more, and I'm impatient. Plus the potato masher gets a less uniform crumble, which is what I like. After that, it's basically the same as the TVP. Cook the shallots and the garlic, add in the tempeh and the marinade and cook it down. And I did find that adding in a tablespoon or so of ketchup helped to combat that bitter taste even more, but season to your palate. And this is going to get you about 14 ounces of vegan ground beef, just under 1 pound. Last but not least is the mushroom and lentil ground beef, and for this we're going to need 8 ounces of mushrooms. Use whichever you like, and then we're also going to need about 1.5 cups of cooked lentils. You can cook yours from scratch, but like I said, I'm impatient, so I'm going to spend a little more to get some that are canned or pre-made. I prefer to pulse my mushrooms in the food processor just to get a really nice non-uniform grind, but you can always just chop them by hand as well. And the marinade for these is mostly the same. The only difference is we're going to be using the bouillon paste with no water, as we don't want to add any moisture into this mixture as it's going to get mushy and gross. To make it soy-free, just use 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos instead of soy sauce and miso paste. Other than that, it's very similar. We'll do the shallots and garlic and then the mushrooms. We want to cook these down until they've released all of their water, which shouldn't take too long since they are cut up so much. I'd say about 5 to 7 minutes. And then we're going to add in the lentils and our flavor paste. Stir that around, and now that is done. See, I told you, all 3 of these were quick and easy. And for me, the TVP is the best of the 3. It's simply just got a great meaty texture. It's cheap and easy and soaks up whatever flavor you throw at it. After that, I think I like the lentils and mushrooms next. While it doesn't really remind me of ground beef at all, it's super dang good from the mushrooms, and it's pretty dang wholesome too. So if you're looking for something that isn't too meaty, this might be your best option. The tempeh version is great too. It does have a bit more bite to it than the TVP or the lentils, so if you want something that isn't too meat-like, you might dig this as well. And like I said, you can make whatever you like with these. I whipped up some quick tacos, and I don't know what it was, but these reminded me of the ones I used to get from the famous taco truck Taco Zone. I didn't even add any other seasonings to them, just the combo of the onions and cilantro and hot sauce. It just brought me back to those days. I also threw together a quick pasta dish with some jarred sauce and pasta, and this was actually super fantastic, and in fact, I might go eat some cold straight from the fridge right after writing this. Or you can make one of my many other recipes that uses vegan ground beef with it. Check out this playlist right here to do so, and until then, I'll see you all next time.